Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Fuel by Generosity podcast. This is Rich. I am the founder and Chief Generosity Officer and CEO for Generosity Global. As you all know, every Wednesday we come to you with an amazing show highlighting the work that Generosity Global is doing in America, as well as in the continent of Africa, in Cameroon and in Kenya, as well as also bring to you people around the world who are doing amazing things, who are using the power of generosity to do good. As you all know, the show was designed to literally bring attention to the power of generosity, to bring attention to how people are literally changing lives through acts of kindness, acts of generosity, being good, and thinking about humanity and coming together with other people to change the world. And that's what we do here at Generosity Global. We use the power of generosity to impact lives by providing people with access to mobile showers, as well as food and clothing and hygiene products here in Baltimore, Maryland, and then in Cameroon and in Kenya. We have been working. Well, in Cameroon, we have worked for the past 6 years to bring clean drinking water to nearly 40,000 people in the far north region of Cameroon. And then we are working to now bring clean water to people in Kenya. So COVID made us put a pause on all of that, but we are still very committed to our mission as we have been rolling nonstop here in America, and we're going to be rolling soon in Africa. But before we get to all of that stuff, I just want to again thank you all so much for all the love, all the support that you have given us. Thank you for our amazing village of volunteers, our amazing village of donors, our amazing village of partners. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support. We cannot be able to do it without you. But today, it's not about me. Today, it's not about Generosity Global. Once again, I had to reach far to bring and invite people from somebody else from around the world who is doing something amazing. This young lady is somebody that I came across on Facebook and just was wowed by how engaged she is when it comes to humanitarian work. She's naturally an entrepreneur. She is let's just say a go-getter from what I've seen. She knows how to go out and get it. But one thing that I know for sure is she is a leader. She is a phenomenal leader that is leading women, that is leading a nation, that is leading people to look outside of themselves and look into helping others. And for those of you who are watching in Cameroon, especially if you're in Douala, she is no stranger to you. She is well known. Without further ado, please permit me to bring the one and only La Mirage. We call her Miranda, but she is well known as La Mirage. Miranda,
Yes,
welcome. How are you?
thank you. I'm honored to be on the show today.
Yes. Welcome. How are things in Douala?
Everything is going on fine. Everything is going on well. We cannot complain for now.
Good. And thank you for, well, it's about 10:50 right now, 10:50 p.m. So I thank you
Yes,
for, staying up late with me to allow our audience to get to know you and the beautiful work that you do.
thank you.
You're very welcome. So for those who are listening that do not know you, maybe our US audience who may not know you, please introduce yourself to us.
Okay, I am Angwere Miranda. I'm an accountant professionally first. I'm a humanitarian, social worker, entrepreneur. So I involve myself in everything that has to do with charity, volunteership, and any other thing. So yes, like I said, I'm a businesswoman. I engage myself in fashion, foodstuffs, and everything that has to do with money.
I love it. I love it. Let's touch briefly on your entrepreneur, and I've been seeing quite a few things that you're doing, and you know specifically what I'm talking about with the
Yes,
food,
yes.
mimis, which has been making me langa too much. And let's
Yes.
talk about the entrepreneur side of you.
Okay. Talking about the entrepreneur side of me, I have a business mindset. Um, Not even considering the fact that I studied accounting in school, but I think having a side hustle for me, apart from my job, is very important to me because as it stands, I have so many mouths to feed. I have so many single mothers to take care of. So I just think that I have to do more than what I can do to meet up with some certain expenses when it comes to the people that actually depend on me, the people that actually look up to me. Yes, because I have so many people. I have so many single moms. I have so many other people, not necessarily family, who actually depend on me for their livelihood. So I think that that is the reason I have to double my hustle so I can meet up with those um expenses.
No, I totally understand. And for most of us, we understand exactly where you're coming, what you're saying, because, there's this responsibility that is placed on us,
Yeah.
immediate family members, external people that we meet, and especially in the line of work that we're going to jump into and talk about,
Yeah.
it takes money to make things possible. It takes money to be able to help that single woman to be able to put food on the table. So as you have mentioned, you talked briefly about not taking care of the people that are depending on you. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's talk about the charity side. Let's start with the, I believe, is the Young Women's Initiative. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Okay, Young Mothers Initiative is an initiative I founded in 2019. Yes, that was in 2019. So that came up when I had some little issues. I was going through a hard time. That's when I just had my baby. That's when I actually came to the reality that I will be a single mom. So for me, that transition was not an easy period for me. So I fell into depression. And when I came out from that space, I just thought to myself that okay, if because the most important thing to me at that time was my self-esteem, not necessarily any other thing. So I was lucky enough to have a job which I can cater for myself, I can take care of my child. So when I left that space, I asked myself that if I'm able to go through this, if I'm able to go through this very stressful period of my life, what about these single young women who actually go through this period? They do not have anything, no financial backup, no nothing. So that's what inspired me to start this young mothers initiative to support young single mothers, to support teenage girls. Because what we do is we have a well structured platform where we don't only financially support these women, we also counsel them. And then for the young teenage girls, we work with them like it's something like a counseling session. Like you have to know what you want. You have to know what you want before you engage in things that are going to put you in a situation that maybe you would not like to find yourself. So basically, that's what we do. But as it stands, we have a good number of single mothers whom we are working steadily with to empower them. So at a certain stage, they will be independent. They'll be independent and know how to feed themselves and their children and stuff like that. So that's basically a brief explanation of what we do with the young
No, that's,
mothers.
I mean, it's noble work. And two things that stand out to me. The first one, I read, and I think it was last year when we connected on Facebook. And can I just say, and I think I sent you a message. You're right up about going through depression. Uh,
Yeah.
I think for me that was so powerful. That was so powerful because it released and it healed not just yourself but a lot of women who,
Yes.
how did talk about that, this the the state of mind that you were in going through it, and just why you felt the need to talk about the depression.
At that time, I think I'd overcame that period. So I was thinking at I have so many people, I have so many friends whom are actually depressed, but they don't feel like talking about it. But to me, and from what I've experienced, that's the first stage to heal. That's the first stage to overcome depression,
Yeah.
because depression comes with isolation. You want to isolate yourself from everybody. You don't want to talk about it and stuff like that, and that's actually what leads to suicide.
Yeah.
So to me, I thought it wise that bringing out my story is going to help so many other single women or some other people, because when I sent out my story, so many people contacted me and told me that, well, they're inspired, they've been going through stuff, they've not been able to put it out like that, and so I it was a good thing for me anyway. It was a good thing for me to put out my story out there, because at that time I didn't really care if I didn't really care what anybody thought about it, because you can be seeing somebody and thinking that that person is fine, life is going on well for them. That is how depression looks.
Yes.
Yes, that's how you're looking very comfortable, very healthy and stuff, but inside you're dying. And so many people out there are actually depressed. They go through depression, but they just want to cover it up. And that's what actually kills you. So sending it out there was just to inspire some other women or maybe some other people. Because even guys contacted me, telling me their stories, telling me that they've been finding it very difficult to put it out there like that. But now, because I've seen my story, they're now inspired and they're now pushed to put their stories out there. So for me, that was just my aim.
No, and again, I think, we live in a day and time now where um these things, we need to talk about these things, right? We don't want to make this show a depression show, but I think that is part of your overall story. That is part of your overall reason why you had the energy and the strength and the desire to want to go into Single Mothers Initiative,
Exactly.
because of what you went through. What kept you going in the midst of that depression? Like, what kept you going?
The only thing that kept me going was my daughter
Mm,
and family at that time. That's
mm,
the only thing, because nothing else meant anything to me.
mm,
Yes, because I'd already given up. Like nothing else mattered at that time. Like I was
mm.
going through a very difficult period. I had I had self-esteem issues, and just the fact that I thought to myself that, okay, I've actually given birth out of wedlock. It makes me different from other girls. It makes me different from my peers and those things. So that thing now was killing me psychologically. Yes.
Wow.
But the fact that I'll get up in the morning, I'll see my daughter smile at me, that kept me going.
Awesome.
Yes. And like I said before, I was just lucky because I had a job which I could support myself, support my child, and stuff like that. So that's basically what kept me going, my daughter, family, and my job. Because I
Yeah.
knew I had something to lean on to take care of my daughter.
Wow. Something to lean on, and your daughter became that one strong anchor to keep you going, to keep you
Yes.
sane, not to go
Yes.
mad and not to go crazy. And unfortunately for some people, they actually take their lives. And so,
Exactly.
how were you able to balance that space that you were in, and then, because you were simultaneously not only pregnant, but at the same time still doing work for the community? How were you able to
Yes.
keep one face in the public, and behind the scenes was somebody else?
Please come again.
I said, how were you able to keep one face in the public in terms of, the work that you were doing in the community, and then when you were in home in silence, in isolation, you were back in depression. How were you able to balance that?
Like I said, like I just told you before, depression comes with you acting like you're perfect. Like
We
you're
are losing
trying.
sound from you.
Let me try to adjust. Can you get me now clearly?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. Like as I was saying, depression comes with you acting very fine, you acting very normal, you doing your regular activities like nothing is happening. But when you come back in your private space, That's when now the depression actually comes in. So for me, it did not really affect that side of me, the humanitarian side or any other thing, because at that time when you're with people, you just want to act normal, you just want to hide whatever you're going through, whatever you're going through. But when you come back now to your own space where you are privately and alone, that is when now the depression actually comes in and you go back to your reality. So for me, at that point in time, it didn't really affect that humanitarian part of me because I was doing it collectively with other people, or spending
Yeah.
time with other people, meeting people in the community. So at least maybe that side it was like that it was even healing me in a way because I had to meet people. But when you're going through depression and you're your own, sitting alone, doing nothing, just thinking, that's when it actually kills
Mm, very true. Very true. I want to welcome again everybody who's watching the show, wherever it is that you're watching from. If you're in the US of A, thank you for tuning in. If you are in Cameroon, in Douala, in Yaoundé, in wherever you are around the world, we thank you for joining us again today. My guest is Miranda La Mirage, known for her work in the community, but also her hustle with businesses that she runs in fashion, in food, and all of that stuff. Thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure that you like the Fuel by Generosity podcast page, and if you want to leave a comment for Miranda, make sure you go on that page and post a comment under the show. I'll be able to put it up on the screen, and she'll be able to see it. Miranda, let's talk more about the Young Mothers Women's Initiative. Let's so Single Mothers Initiative. Let's talk more. Like, what does the program look like? How do you find these women? How do they come into your program? How do they get the help that they need?
um Talking firstly about how we find these single mothers, we have um we have a group have a group of volunteers, people who actually want to help build a community, who have actually come together to be part of the Young Mothers Initiative. So we have facilitators, we have people who can actually just bring us information, maybe from the community, from anywhere they might find those single struggling moms to actually now bring the information to us, and then I will now look for a way to work on that. Talking about financing and helping the single moms, there are times when I struggle to do it. Firstly, yes, I struggle to do it firstly on my own if I can. When when I see that I might need external support from any other person from outside or any other thing, that's when we bring it out to social media. So because it's not only about finances, there might be people who can be able to help counsel these girls. There can be people who can just give us advice, which actually will work for the good of these women. So most times it's not only about financing because sometimes they say information is power. So sometimes it's about getting information, advice, that's basically it. But for finances, there are times where we pause and people actually decide to help out. Like today, I sent out a story of one young mom who is 16 who was raped during this crisis. She's about 6 months pregnant. So
Mm.
I've been having people contacting me, willing to help, willing to give in what they can give because we accept anything. If you want to give help in kind, but if you want to give financial help, it's okay because as a teen, she's pregnant, she'll soon be due, she'll need baby clothes, she'll need diapers. So if you want to support with diapers, baby clothes, anything, if you want to even support with advice, counseling, because normally, psychologically, she must be disturbed.
Yes.
She's young. The person who actually raped her took away her innocence. The pregnancy thing is actually new to her. So we're open for any kind of support, advice, information, anything. Support in kind, support in finances, no problem. We're willing to get every support that we can get.
And most of these women are in Douala. Or is it
We have
only limited to Douala, or do you are you all over like?
no, no, it's not limited to Douala. We have for now we have about five young moms that we are trying to empower, which we are supporting. We have Douala, we have Yaoundé, then we have Bamenda, but we are not limiting it to any region or any city, town, or anything. Everybody needs help, no matter where they happen to find themselves, logistics or whatever. So far as we get your story and we feel touched and we are able to help, if we're not able to help, we put it out there. We try to do the best we can for you. So it doesn't matter where you find yourself. Anyway, we're willing to help.
Yeah, I mean that's it's good that you're able to span your reach. What stories like when you meet these young women? Like what stories come out to you? What is the big story? Is it some of them? Is it you say they are rape victims? Is that usually the case?
For rape, we've had just one case, a case
Okay,
I picked out for years. We've had just one case of rape. The
okay,
others can be teenage pregnancy, and then maybe the guy actually runs away, leaving them helpless. The family cannot even cover the expenses. The family cannot cater for the girl and the child and things like that. So the other four girls that we have now is about teenage pregnancy, not rape or anything.
yeah.
There's this girl that we have. She actually had the baby, and the guy refused to take responsibility. So, in the quest for trying to save herself, she threw the baby away. So somebody brought her story to us, and then we had to look for her because
Mm,
we know before a woman who has actually kept her baby for 9 months likes to throw away the baby, therefore maybe she's going through some very serious stuff. So we had to meet her. We have been supporting her. At the moment, we she's a little bit stable. She's a little bit stable. I can say about 80%. So
yeah.
with time, she's going to be financially independent.
Okay.
September. Yes, we
And,
met her like last year, I think so. So we've been taking care of her for a year now.
mm,
So in the course of the time, she'll be financially independent.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And with these women, I get with the work that you do, what I guess what is success to you? Like when for these women, like what does it mean? Like a successful transition? What would that mean? Like what does that mean? Or what does that look like?
If I understand you very well, a successful transition for these girls is when they finally become financially independent.
So are
Yes,
you helping them
that's
with like walk training and
yes.
all those things?
Yes, we pay for their training. We have somebody that talks to them when we think or when we find out that maybe they are maybe stressed out, psychologically worried. Yes, we have somebody that has actually just volunteered to talk to these girls when need be. Yes, so a successful story for us when it comes to these women is when they finally get independent when it comes to financial issues.
Nice, beautiful. And what on a normal, say let's just say on a normal month, how much does it cost you to take care of these girls? Like what is their
Like we have five of them. There are four which we cover their monthly rent, firstly. So we actually get very affordable places for them. Not
okay.
too much, just affordable, but average, clean, hearty. Yes. So their monthly rent ranges from maybe like 12,000 to 15,000 per month. Yes. So can take maybe like 150 because also their upkeep, we're also responsible for their
Mm-hmm.
upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so maybe like 150. But the other ones that actually live with family, we just take care of their upkeep, hospital bills, children, and all those things. When it comes to rent, maybe they just have to pay space to be there. Then we take care of the other expenses like sanitary expenses, all those things. Yes.
So, so overall, you say it'll be like 300,000 for.
Kind of,
Okay.
kind of, ranging
Uh,
from 200 to 300.
okay, so that's I just wanted to get a figure so I can the second part of this is for our people who are listening to in the US and those who are in a position who have a heart for single mothers, for single women, for young mothers. This is a great opportunity. Let me do a conversion real quick for 300,000 Cameroon francs CFA. That is roughly $600 a month. That allows Miranda and her team to be able to take care of 5 women, and that gives them housing. Pays for their housing each month. It pays for their hospital bills each month. It pays for their women needs in terms of sanitary supplies and even able to pay for food for them month to month. So if you are listening, wherever you are in the world, let us get together. If this is a topic that is interesting in you and you've always looked to support something in this capacity, let me know. You already know the people that I bring on this show are people that I have personally vet. I have seen their work. People who are really actually doing the work. They're not just making Facebook posts and disappearing, but people who are actually doing the work. So I can appreciate Miranda for that. And if you want to
Thank
follow,
you.
if you want to follow, you're welcome there. If you want to follow her on Facebook, go to her Facebook page right here. You can connect with her right there on Facebook. The handle is there. Copy and paste it. She's the real deal, guys. She is the real deal. She's not. She's not. She's about action. She's about action. She's about impact. She's about humanitarian work. And I think, most of us know her well from. Let me see. One, my sister just trust me. She said I've been in and out. Okay, she'll be watch the replay, but somebody that's gonna reach out to you. But most of you know her from her work with Boko Gang. She's repping the shirt.
Yes, yes.
She is a proud ambassador. I think that's how we connected, just because I was seeing this amazing campaign that you were doing with your team, with Jovi and all that stuff. Tell us, for those of us don't know more about the Mboko Gang, tell us about that initiative.
Okay. The Mboko Gang movement is it's a solely a fan club, fan base for Cameroonian artist Jovi. So we have two objectives. Firstly, to support the artists wherever need be. Secondly, to do charity work. Yes, that's the two objectives of the Mboko Gang movement. So presently we have a clothing line, the Mboko Gang merch. So this
Mboko
is
Gang
actually
merch.
one of
I've
the
seen it.
merch.
Oh, I need my merch.
Yes, so this is one of the matches. So we sell out these matches, use the profits to support internally displaced persons from the Anglophone crisis. We also support vulnerable young girls. So we work with two NGOs when it comes to the Mboko Gang match. We work with the IAPO Foundation in Boya to support internally displaced persons. We work with African Action on AIDS in Yaoundé to support vulnerable young girls. So we give a greater percentage of the profits made from the mesh to support these two NGOs on a monthly basis. So
And
for every mesh sold, there's a percentage that actually fits a child or two, actually takes care of a vulnerable young girl. That's how it works.
and how did you become involved? Why did you become involved with the Mboko Gang? Why did you feel like this was something to be part of?
Okay, firstly, I'm a big fan of Jovi. That's the first thing. I'm a very big fan of Jovi. Everybody knows. Secondly, I own the rights to the brand. Yes. So
Businesswoman.
I'm the yes. I own the rights to the brand. I'm the brand ambassador. And when it comes to charity, humanitarian work, volunteer, I'm involved. I'm there. So that is how it came about. That is how it came about me being involved in the Mboko Gang movement, being the brand ambassador and a frontliner.
So tell us about a story with the the activities in the field, like when you go out, like what are the stories that you see, like what the people that you are impacting, you know um, what do can you give us a few stories?
When it comes to the Mboko Gang work,
Yes, yeah, like the internally displaced people, like what type of things are you seeing out there? What type of needs do they have out there? How are you meeting those needs? I think we may have lost her briefly. Okay, so I think we may have lost her briefly. Knowing Cameroon network, we probably have a network issue, but nonetheless, one thing that I know of Miranda, La Mirage, as most of all know her, is her commitment and her dedication. We were talking about Mboko Gang, which is the humanitarian arm of Cameroon artist Jovi, and she literally spearheads that initiative to get people to be able to support not only the artist but also to support the humanitarian side. I think she's back on. All right, Miranda, are you there?
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I had a small problem with my phone overheating.
That's
So
okay. I'm sorry. We're gonna make sure we don't keep it too long so that way it doesn't too overheat too much. Um, I have one question that is coming in. I cannot see. They're not. So Diane, if anybody watching, make sure you watch on their Fueled by Generosity podcast page. If you want me to post a comment, if you want me to post your comment so Miranda can see it, go on that page. But for now, I'm gonna read, and I think she answered that. How many girls are currently supported by the foundation? So she Diane Daiga, who is an amazing big sister. And if you haven't connected with her, I think she, you two make a connection there. Wanted to know like how many girls are currently supported by your organization, the Young Women's Young Mothers Initiative. You said 5 girls, correct? So I think we have that connection again. The phone is overheating. But Diane, the answer to your question is we have she has currently supporting 5 young women, currently supporting 5 women who are single mothers, and some of them as young as 16 years old, who may have teenage pregnancy and have nobody, no one to help them, and she's able to, with a group of friends and support that comes in, monetary support, they're able to fund their daily upkeep from housing, as well as food, as well as health care needs and all of that. So my question to her was, at the end of the month, what does their budget look like? And they're roughly running through roughly about $600 a month to take care of 5 women, which is commendable. We already know how much $1 goes, how far it goes in Cameroon. So again, for people who are in the space of women, young women, single mothers who are in the space of being able to serve women in need, this will be a good opportunity to connect with somebody who's not just talking the talk but also walking the walk. And that is exactly what Miranda does, La Mirage does. And then now, hopefully we're able to get her back, but with phone issues, we may or may not get her back before the time is up. But just talking briefly about what I've seen in the work that she's doing, just very transformative, very impactful. Being a thing, she's just a natural born leader, a woman who has a desire to make things happen, from her personal hustle to being able to use profits from her hustle, from her work, from her businesses to support others. That is what generosity is all about. I'm always, talking about money can be used for so many good things. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have money. I think we all should have that noble desire to want to have money because those people who are sick, those people who are in need, those people who are hungry, the only way we meet those needs is if we can be selfless with the money that we have and then invite other people who are in a space of giving, invite other people who want to join us on our journey to give and to impact and to change lives. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's not doing it by herself. She's inviting other people. She's inviting friends. And in doing that, she is inspiring people. She is inspiring a nation. She is inspiring her friends. We have her back on. Yes, ma'am. Welcome back. It's okay.
Thank you.
No worries. So I'm just talking about just you being an inspiration to, your friends, the community, at large. What, just being able to inspire people. What does that mean to you?
It actually means everything to me. The fact that I have some young women or maybe some younger people, even older people, they're actually looking up to me. It actually means a lot to me. And it actually affects the way I act, because knowing that I have people that look up to me, there are certain things that I know I cannot do. So it actually straightens my lifestyle. That's how I can put it. So it means a
Mm,
lot to me.
mm.
Yes,
Beautiful,
yes.
beautiful, beautiful. I mean, we've had more people join on, and if you're watching, thank you once again for watching. If you're going to be watching later on or listening later on, we thank you. Make sure you are connected to the Fuel by Generosity podcast page as well as La Mirage's page on Facebook. Follow her. That's how you can connect with her one on one. But to my audience and my guests and my listeners, if you are inspired by this, if you are moved, if you say you want to support her, knowing that her herself, she's a single mother and doing so much, and you want to support her, help these other women that she's serving, and you're finding ways you want to connect with her on her page. If there's a thing of you want to send like a donation and you want to connect with her that way, that's fine. If you want to go through me, we can do Cash App. I will make sure you already know everything that comes to me. I am transparent with it. I will take the screenshots. I will make sure she gets everything. And so let us, be moved as a community to join our sister who is out there doing, God's work, being God's hands and feet on the ground to serve people. And then with Mboko Gang, with the things that they're doing over there, like how big is your team over there with Mboko Gang?
We have a very big team. We have a very, very big team. It's a whole movement.
It's a movement.
Yes, it's a whole movement. So
How do
that's
people how
so
do people
many.
join?
Come again.
How do people join?
We have a WhatsApp group. So anybody that wants to join can just hit up any Mboku gang member and we'll add you up to the group.
Okay. And when you came up with Mboko Gang, like how did Jovi react to it?
Normally he's loved. Anyway, that's how I can put it. He's loved. So obviously anybody that is loved that way is supposed to be happy about a fan base that is that strong.
Yeah.
So mhm.
And how does he himself get involved with the work of Mboko Gang?
Yes, he sends in support from time to time, and he's very impressed about what we do. Because when we came up with this merge, it was his initiative to give part of the profits for charity, for humanitarian work, and all. So it was his decision. He brought in that decision that part of this should go into help our brothers and sisters who are suffering from the Anglophone press, who have been displaced, and to also support vulnerable young girls. So that
Yeah.
was his idea before we had to come in and make it big and things like that.
Yeah, I think the last initiative I saw you do, was this something for the prisons?
Yes, it
Tell
was
me
something.
tell me about that one.
The last time we visited female inmates at the Boya Central Prison. Yes, so we have been doing a lot of charity. We have also gone to Bamenda Central Prison. So we have been doing so many things. We are trying as much as possible to touch all sectors, to reach out as far as we can go, because we do so many things. We have been doing cleanup campaigns. We also have a project that's a tour. We call it the One Girl One Part campaign. The One
I
Girl
saw
One
that
Part.
one. Yes.
Yes, so that one is actually a tour we're working on. We have a calendar, but it was actually disturbed by COVID-19 since there was no schools or but that alone it's a campaign on its own. But we do other humanitarian work, charity work, we visit orphanages, we support people, even ourselves, because within us we have people who are struggling. So
Yes.
firstly, we start by supporting each other, then we do humanitarian work,
Mhm.
because we cannot be doing humanitarian work out there while some of us are actually struggling and we cannot make it. So we support one another first in the movement, and then we do charity work too.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's always important. The power of a community, right? Because we are only as strong as the people in our community. We are only as strong as the people in our group. We are only as strong as the person standing next to me. And if
That's
that
true.
person standing next to you is not strong, if they are going through internal things, if they are going through struggles, and we don't stop long enough to listen to them, to help them, to make them become better, to make them become stronger, to make them become mentally and emotionally um, complete, then
Yeah,
they cannot be their very best, right?
that's
So
true.
there's so much power in communities, and I think you for one is a great example of that power, that strength. When I look at you, I see a strong woman, some strength that other women draw their strength from, because of the challenges that you have been through personally, but you have not allowed these challenges to stop you.
Yeah.
Why do you keep going, like in everything that you're doing? Why is it that you're not allowing the challenges that are very well present to stop you?
Um. Firstly, I have so many people behind me. I cannot afford to fail. If I'm failing, I'm failing some other people. I have people that look up to me necessarily who do not depend on me. I have single girls, I have young teenage girls that actually look up to me. So if I happen to fail, I'm failing them too. So that is what actually keeps me going. I'm an inspiration to some people. Some people depend on me financially, some people depend on me morally. So I cannot afford to fail. God knows I cannot afford to fail. I have to keep going. I have to keep working. I have to keep putting my all to get this done.
Yeah.
Yes. So no matter what it takes, I'm just in for it. I just think I'm up to the task. I just think I was built for this. That is what I think.
No, you are certainly built for it, and your brother over here just admires and appreciates all the work that you do. We know it's not easy. It's never easy, right? People see it from
That's
from outside. They look in. You make it
that's
look easy, but what does like a challenging day look like for you when you have to do something like this? What does a challenge look like for you?
First off, I'm an accountant. I work in a microfinance. I have a 40 hours per week job. So I I have so many things to take care of self, because I have a shop, I have Boko Gang, I have my Young Mothers Initiative. I have many people contact me within the day to maybe get one or two things, and then I run my shop to online, even though I have somebody that is at my shop, but I run it online too. So a challenging day for me is when I have so much to do at my job, my own professional work side, and my business, and maybe humanitarian work. So that is what a challenging day for me looks like.
Okay, so
What makes it a little bit easy is that most of the work is done on my phone.
yeah.
So it's just virtual. Yes, it's just virtual. That is what doesn't really bother me much about it.
So I'll ask you the question that people always ask me: when do you find time to sleep?
Another thing is, I work too hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I work. My shop, I do everything there from the beginning to the finished product. So I really work. So when I'm not at work, I'm doing some work in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So before we even started talking, I was doing something else before now I had to create time for this.
Yeah,
But so some days I sleep for 5 hours, for which is very okay by me. The time for me to rest will come. I'm still young. I need to work now.
you're still young. I love the mindset. I love the energy. I love the drive. There's just this special sense of determination that is in you,
Yeah.
which is for me, when I see that, I recognize it in leaders, and I recognize it in myself.
Yeah.
Like nothing will stop you, and just know that, like I said, I can't wait till we actually meet in person, just because
Yeah.
there's so much that we're going to connect on,
Yes. I'm really
and
looking forward to working with you.
yeah, and do together. But definitely, I think we would definitely, Generosity Global. I think when the young women, when the one pad one girl campaign launches back up, that is in association to our women's initiative with Generosity Global,
Yeah.
with sanitary hygiene and with menstrual hygiene with women that we are doing in Marua and in Kenya right now. So those
Mhm.
are something that I think we can definitely try to support. So I would love to, for us to connect with our leadership, connect with you. We also have some people in Cameroon who are going to be joining us. I believe a few, Stephanie Toom
Yeah.
and all that stuff, that are going to be joining us with that. So we'll definitely think we'll do something big to impact a lot of people. Um, I know the time is late for you there, as so we would be wrapping up now. As we come to an end, as we come to a close, for those who have been listening to us and have been listening to you and inspired by you, what is one final word of wisdom, one final word of encouragement or call to action that you can leave with our audience, so they can be charged up to go out and do for others like you are doing for others?
Um, what I can say is that we live by the support of each other. That's what works for me. Nobody can make it on their own.
Mm.
At one point in time, you must need support. No matter who you think you are, you must need support, morally, financially, or any other thing. So let's just be a brother's keeper, and that's just it. Nothing more.
That is powerful. We live by the support of each other. No one can make it on their own. I think that's a powerful word. Miranda, thank you so much. Um,
Thank you.
you um, exemplify strength, inspiration, and motivation for a lot of people. And I want to just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. People are watching, people are observing, people are inspired. Lives are being changed because of you,
Thank
because
you.
you refuse to say no, because you keep going. And so, thank you so much for giving us 50 minutes of your time today.
Thank you
Thank you
too.
for
I
it.
also want to talk about we have a project coming up.
Yes.
Is we posted the flyer today from Boko Gang. It has to do with because we celebrate 16th February every year because we call it a Jovi Day. So
Uh-huh.
we'll be doing a blood donation campaign in Douala and also sharing of food packs. We also are calling on anybody who wishes to support to donate free blood. We're doing a blood drive. Anybody who is willing to donate blood for free, the person can come and join us, or any way that the person thinks that they might be able to support, we welcome them
And you
on
said
the
that is on February 20th.
February 20th in Douala.
And
But
tell me exactly what exactly is going on again, so we can. Talk
was
briefly about it.
Yes, it's in commemoration for Jovi Day. Jovi Day is always 16 February. But since
Hmm.
as it falls on a Tuesday, which is within the week, and so many of us we work, we hustle during the week, and maybe we're a little bit relaxed during the weekend. That is why we put the event on the Saturday following 16 February, which happens to be on the 20th. So we're doing a free blood drive at Bingo at Mbopi Baptist Hospital. So anybody who wants to donate free blood to save lives, you're welcome.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let me see if I can charge. I think I just got the flyer there.
Yeah.
Let's see if nope, that's not it. I cannot get the whole flyer there, but nonetheless, I'm gonna try to advertise that so people can see. Um,
Yeah, this is the flyer. That
that's
is the flyer.
that's the flyer. I'm just trying to get it so the audience can see it. But nonetheless, I'm gonna post the flyer. I'm gonna try to share it so people can see it and people can get involved and people
Uh,
can participate. But thank you. I mean, definitely, if you're in Cameroon, make sure you support the initiative on the February 20th.
thank
That's
you.
Jovi Day. Diane Daiga says, "Keep pressing on Miranda."
Thank you
Uh,
so
uh,
much, Diane.
Amazing big sister who is she herself has a beautiful show that if you haven't been on yet, I think she's going to be inviting you on that show very soon.
Wow.
Miranda, thank you for who you are.
Thank you
Thank
too.
you for your heart. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the gift of life.
Thank you for being an inspiration.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled. I'm humbled. Thank you. You know, like you
There
said,
was a time there was a time that I saw a picture of you. I think that was in Fano, your water donation campaign or project, something like that.
yeah.
And that is what actually made me to start following you because I saw a picture of a child when the child actually saw water, the joy, just that. That's what pushed me to start following you. So you have always been an inspiration to me.
Wow. Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot. And like you said, no one does it alone. We are in this thing together, and we are here to support you. And one final message from Diane. Again, we will find ways to assist your foundation too. So
Thank you so much, Diane.
yeah, we will connect. The networks will connect little by little. We will do our part to make sure that these young mothers are being taken care of, and this love can go on. So, thank everybody so much for watching today's show. We appreciate you all for being part of our show today. Thank you to our guest, Miranda La Mirage. Again, her Facebook page is on the screen. Facebook.com/MILAREX. Make sure you go and you follow that page and connect with her. She is a trailblazer. She is a change maker. She is a great, 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 great ambassador for generosity, for doing good for humanity. And we are definitely looking forward to connecting with her in the future. But for everybody who tuned in today, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you all so much for your audience. Thank you so much for your generosity. Again, remember, the Fuel by Generosity podcast is every Wednesday, every week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you tune in next week as we're going to bring it back home and then have some amazing guests we'll plan for the near future. Thank you all for your time. God bless. And remember, we are Generosity Global. Peace. We are out.